Good fucking morning, man. It's Monday, and it's one of the best Mondays because I'm actually really excited today because we got a good fucking topic. Mondays, man, always the fucking best. Best way to start the fucking week. The market's open. My God, beautiful day outside. What more can you fucking ask for? So today's topic is going to be one of my favorite ones because we're going to go in deeper about business ethics, or how you should look at business. So I'm super fucking excited for this video. So this is old school versus new school 101. So old school versus the new school. Man, this is a really, really good topic, man. I really want you to fucking try to listen to this and really take in what is old school versus new school, because there's no school like the old school, and I'm the fucking headmaster. It's one of my favorite quotes, one of my favorite Guy Ritchie movies, man. But anyway, old school versus new school. This is really, really prevalent. I see a lot in business, mostly nowadays. You know why? Because what is old school? To me, old school business mentality, old school business ethics and all that involve more of the long-term thinking process, you know, or they have more of the core values, like, you know, like the things that are very, very important, like loyalty, you know, that things that are important but are overlooked. That is what the old school is. They have the values, you know, they have the loyalty, they have the dedication, all that shit. They have the core principles it takes to be a very successful businessman, you know, and to do business. The new school, they have the vision, you know, they have the vision of how things should be and how things can be, you know. So that's the benefit of having being new school. You see it and you take advantages of what's given to you in the modern era, you know. So that is, you know, the old school versus the new school. Now, the downside of being too much of the old school is that you don't see the future, you know, like you don't see how the future could develop, you know. Like you also are limited to the old things of how business is done. You're not using the tools that are available today, like the internet or like, you know, fucking social media, all that shit. Old school, I tend to see the old school business mind, they don't see the advantages of those outlets, which they are absolutely the biggest advantage you will ever have, especially now in whatever business you're in, man. You could be selling fucking potatoes and, you know, you need to use the internet. You know, the new school now, and what I see is a lot of new school business people, they're looking too much for the get rich quick scheme or get rich quick whatever. And okay, fine, whatever, but what does that do? They don't have the old school values, you know. Like, getting rich quick is great, but what I've always seen with a lot of people is, you know, with the get rich quick things, you gain a lot, but you also lose so fucking much. You lose things quicker than you could ever gain it. You could lose shit so fast where you're just like, what the fuck? I don't even know what happened. I just lost fucking thousands of dollars and I don't even know how. Because you're into the, you know, get rich quick shit. That's not how it goes, man. At least that's not how I think. Everybody's entitled to do their own thing. But for me, it's always long term. I use the tools of the new school, but I never ever forget that old school will always bring you to the fucking dance, because it's always the old school mentality that it gives you the principles that you need to succeed. And without the principles or without a good base, you're not going to get anywhere, man. Everything comes from a solid base. Just say, like, for example, boxing. You know, like a boxer, a jab is a fucking basic thing. It's the base of his fucking skill set. If a boxer cannot jab, oh, that's it. He's not going to fucking do anything, you know? So it's very, very important that you recognize old school and new school, and you find a way to mix the two or be part of both of them. You know, like for me, I have a partner who's very much new school. You know, he's very much gonna get rich quick schemes or get rich quick, all that stuff. and he's always chasing something to get fucking rich quick. If you were to take all that energy and focus it into something long term, you won't have to chase anything really so much, because the long term investment that you're doing is going to keep growing and growing and growing. It requires what? Patience. And patience is the hallmark of an old school entrepreneur, because he understands that the get rich quick schemes or get rich quick whatever, yeah, you might get a fucking gigantic jackpot, but it's just like gambling. You might do it. The long-term investment, for sure, you're always going to get something, because it's long-term. It grows little by little, just like a fucking fixed asset or land, you know. That's why land is so fucking, it's the primary ticket to get fucking wealthy, because it constantly grows. You do nothing with it, you have a piece of land, you do nothing with it for 5 years. For those 5 years, it still grew in value. You see what I mean? Long term is what you're looking for. So, you know, so find a way to mix the old school with the new school. Those things are very, very, very important. You know, in life also, you know, like, you need to have the old school mindset of having the principles, the base, man. The base is so fucking important. If your base is not strong, whatever you do, in anything, in any field, it's not going to work. Your base is what makes it strong, you know? So another concept I want people to understand is a lot of people now are into the cryptocurrency, you know, and I definitely want to talk about this, because yes, absolutely, it is part of our, you know, of our future or our present now, or it's going to be part of our life as we know it. But I do not believe that you should, you know, completely invest in cryptocurrency. Not, you know, because the vitality is so simply just, you know, it's just too up there. It could be up, it could be down. So, you know, definitely look into it. I don't say, you know, don't look into it. Definitely look into it, because it will be part of our life. But I definitely would not say to put all your investments in cryptocurrency. And even worse, I definitely will tell you, do not make that your primary source of currency. That I don't think that's not very smart, bro. So, you know, you could learn about it, but you need to go inside, you know, like really, really learn what it takes to even make a Bitcoin, what's going on. Like, let's say, I mentioned it before, the blockchain and the mining, those all require a lot of energy or electricity. So how I think is, instead of me investing in Bitcoin itself, I'm going to invest in the energy companies that it takes to produce those Bitcoins. Because if you read, you know, the mining and all that shit, it requires a lot of fucking electricity or energy, you know. So one of my theories is that, you know, it's this, you know, Mr. Demigod Elon Musk, you know, he's such a fucking beast now, because it goes back to my point I'll talk about later. But I have a feeling that he'll be the source of that fucking energy, you know. So this is how I see it. But how I see it is that I'd rather invest in the long term, which is the energy that it would take to produce the fucking internet currency, you know. So that's how I see it, and that's what maybe you should, you know, look into if you decide to go with the cryptocurrency, you know, because, you know, you have to remember, especially nowadays, remember this so much, everything is marketing. Everything. Bitcoin was around before, but why is it so fucking massive now? Because of the person who's backing it, right? The Mr. Demigod. He's a beast, but it's all, like, for me, I just look at things that everything is marketing. Everything is marketing. What you do on a daily basis, what you fucking wear on a daily basis, how you fucking introduce yourself, everything is marketing, especially now with the power of social media, man. Everybody's marketing something without them even knowing it, but it's really how you market, man. You know, like this whole Bitcoin thing, I believe it's just extremely good marketing. They have a good face for it, and they have, you know, because he's a demigod, you know, so they have a good face, and they're just marketing it perfectly. That's why it's so fucking huge. So don't ever forget, man, that everything is marketing. So you have to see and, you know, delve deeper behind the doors, you know. So Don't ever forget that, man. Like, even use that for your advantage, that everything is marketing. Even market yourself, you know? Like, we're in an age now where you don't even have to introduce yourself. You could just market yourself and people will already know who you are, what you stand for. That is how powerful the marketing is nowadays. So don't ever fucking forget, you know, everything is marketing, you know? So the last thing I want to talk about is something also very, very important. And this is called my bad. You know, because, you know, like couple of weeks ago or something, last week, whatever, my car was in the shop, you know, and you know, of course, whenever your car goes to the shop, you get frustrated because you won't have a car, shit like that. So, you know, I got kind of frustrated, and I was not very, I was not myself to the person who was helping me fix my car. You know, I was kind of a dick, to be honest, and you know, I did not like that. You know, and I recognized it, and I apologized to the person. Like, you know, we were messaging, because you know, when you get your car repaired, they're like, oh, you text us over here, and then, you know, this is how we stay in touch. So, you know, I apologized to him, and you know, everything's good now. But the lesson of that one is, when you make a mistake, or when you know that something is wrong, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry, hey, my bad, man, my mistake, I was frustrated, I was, you know, it was, you know, it's my fault. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I see a lot of people that they're afraid, or they feel that it would diminish, or they feel that it would make them feel lower by apologizing or saying that, hey man, I was wrong. You know, that is a huge sign of immaturity, man. And if a person is immature, man, he will never do anything in life, because in order for you to be a successful, you know, or good person, you need to be mature enough to even know when you are making the mistake, and when you need to apologize, and when you need to step forward and say, you know what, I'm sorry, this is what, you know, I just want, you know, whatever it is, you know, like in any situation, like let's say if you're in some type of relationship and you fucked up or whatever, just be like, hey, you know, I'm sorry about that thing, and you know, maybe we could like to start over or whatever, you know, but I'm sorry, you know, shit like that. You know, it's not a sign of weakness. It's actually the greatest sign of power, for you to recognize that, shit, I was wrong and I need to apologize for that. So there is nothing wrong with that. Always remember that. So whenever it's time to say, hey bro, you know, I'll put it in a vernacular, everyone will understand, my bad. Just say, I'm sorry, man, my bad, you know. And if they don't want to talk to you, then okay, whatever. At least you recognize that you were at the fault and you said sorry, you know. That's what it's all about, man. And you'll feel so much better, because you feel like, oh shit, man, like that was a very mature thing to do. I'm gonna fucking give myself a high five for that. So that is the fucking topic. That is the topics for Monday, and I was so into it. I just talked, you know. So hopefully you got some shit out of that. And if you know whatever shit you want to know, you want to talk about, you let me know, and I'll talk about it, man. Until then, have a fucking great Monday.